Oh, what is going on, everybody, man? What is happening, man? Peace to everybody. What's going on, man? It's your boy Mikey, always keeping it real, always keeping it authentic, and always keeping it 100, man. Football is over. Winter sports is going down now. What's up with that? Coach of the Year came out, man. We're going to be getting into all state, all divisions, and shout out to all the players, all the coaches, all the parents who put in for a great season, man. Definitely shout out to all the players, man. Once again, shout out to you guys, man. You always like a good beat, right? You know what I like? When it kind of kicks in, it goes boom. We're going to be reacting to some Eric Rube. You know, I told you last week Eric Rube was going to come up with a top 5 list of Lasalle, but he went even better. He did a top 10 list, man. We're going to check that out. We're going to react to that as well. We're going to check out some of the top performers that finished the season in Rhode Island high school football. And, you know, talk a little bit about Coach of the Year criteria. Now we got all the Super Bowls out the way, man. Shout out to everybody. All the programs that were in the Super Bowls, man. Shout out to North Kingstown High School, man. Congratulations on winning. Shout out to Bishop Hendricken. Congratulations on your performance, man. Shout out to Cumberland. You know, I got to say, even for Cumberland to make it up into the Power 4, any public school to make it to a Power 4. And shout out to the one that kind of brought that to my attention this morning. Shout out to you. Man, my man Cliff Fulton coming back to coaching. Are we ready for Cliff Fulton coming back to Rhode Island High School coaching? He said he already has a staff put together. You know, so what job would be good for Cliff? We'll have to wait and see. Give us a minute. We'll be right back on the other side. All right, we back, yo. You know, I want to remind everybody, man, go over there and support Central Nights documentary, man, Tale of a Night. You know, I'm going to play a piece of it right now, man, but salute to Mike Washington over there at Central Nights. Evelyn Edits, you know, they did a great job with this piece right here. This one, I think it's episode 6, Genesis. I'm gonna play a little piece for it right now, real quick.
Alright? So please let everybody fucking know who the fuck we are, fellas. This is our fucking house. This is our fucking title, fellas.
Mike.
This is our shit.
Mike,
y'all fucking understand?
Hey.
Y'all understand? All right, man. Let's fucking get this money, man.
Man, no wonder I can never get monetized, man. Come on, Mike.
Bring it in.
No language, Mike.
Defense gonna do their thing, bro. Offense, we gotta do our thing, bro. Hey, yo, set your defense on 6. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6.
Cornelius. He's looking to throw. He's got him, man.
Oh.
Let's go.
And it's another fumble, and the Knights are going to land on this one.
Look at that. Shot out to the Knights.
Angel Police. And so now the Knights will head out for their first possession of the game. Definitely bring.
This game is the game they were playing Burrville, and I could say this game is probably the one that set up the game that we just seen in the semifinal round of the Division I playoff football. This set it up. This was the last time Burrville was thrown to the Wolves in Division One. Small program, probably didn't even belong in Division One. LaSalle, they had to throw the white towel in, not because they were afraid, but because they were running out of guys. Small programs.
A large package to their offense here. Barkley with the handoff. It's going to be fumbled.
Oh, and it's another one.
What's Ty doing?
Right at the 25 where they started their first possession.
And Barville gets the ball back at the 25.
This shit happens every fucking game. Oh my Lord, yo. We just can't.
Shout out Joey Kaleo, former defensive line coach, Central Knights, actually today. Gillette Stadium. My man Joey is in the Super Bowl. Shout out Coach Kaleo. Get up to Gillette right now. You have time to see one of his games.
He steps back, looking to throw. The pressure's there, but he gets the pass off. A nice connection there to number 8 of the offense.
Hey, don't press that. You got help. Yo, Jaden, tell him to press.
Benoyer awaits the snap. He's stepping back. Looks to throw. Had plenty of time, but that ball way too high. Nearly could have been intercepted. And that's going to bring up 4th and 4. So the special
should have been
here and send the ball back. Barkley in the shotgun with Zaria to his right. And it's going to go to Zaria. Zaria, open lane.
Boy, he's gone. Look at the
20.
wheels.
He will not be caught. Touch.
Hey, man. What I say? Let's keep it clean. I say, go fucking go.
Send the man in motion. To Neuer. He calls for it. He's going to take it himself. Looks like a pitch play that they might try and do, but he's going to keep going. That's a gain of 11. Nice run there. Neuer for another Broncos first down. Then Kanoyer's going to take it again. Shifty move, and that's past the first down marker.
Some people wonder, should Mike Washington have an offensive coordinator? What do you guys think?
Are you in? Okay. Brad, you in? Okay, hey guys, on 2. What is it on? What is it on? I split up.
You already know what he's going to say.
Right, plunder lead. Diamond right, plunder lead. On 2. Ready? Good. Let's go. Kevon, you better fucking remember.
Here the Knights will get set after the turnover on downs from Burrillville. Game 6 on their first play of their drive, and we might have some movement there.
Oh, no. Who is it on? Who is it on?
And it's going to be
no.
started.
Yo, is Mike going to lose his... You already know. Is he going to spaz? What do y'all think? Let me know. But go check this out on YouTube. Team Dollar, Dolla, right? TV. Let's check it out.
It's the Knights.
Can't even get it out of a timeout, huh, guys?
Damn.
Can't even get out of a timeout. I don't even know why I even bothered going on 2.
He said, why do we do on 2?
Oh, my Lord.
And Barkley looking, and it's tipped away. Good job by the Broncos D to get in there early. That was going to force a 3 and out here for the Knights, the first of the day.
So what? You can't move though.
Doug Life. We're going to come back and check some of this out in a few minutes, man. Shout out Coach Washington. But go over to YouTube, Team Dollar TV. Check that out. There's like about 8 episodes. They're all pretty lit. It starts off at the beginning of the season. I think this is maybe COVID season 2020, beginning of the season. Mike Washington, I don't know what happened to his quarterback. He just went MIA. I'm done. I'm out. I ain't feeling this. Adios. And Mike loses his quarterback then. He realizes he has no kicking game, and the season is on from there. Definitely check out the Bishop Hendricken episode. This was a very lit documentary. Well, last night they voted for Coach of the Year for each respective divisions. We kind of seen how that was going down. We remember a couple of years ago when Dino was resigning, he got Coach of the Year. So it's only certain that Coach of the Year for Division 1 would have went to Coach Marcone. And we're picking up some interesting conversation on the blog, when we asked the question, what is the criteria for Coach of the Year? I think in Division 1, in any division, it should go to somebody that goes above and beyond for their program, and not always the coach that be winning. Not the coach with the stacked team. Last year was a perfect Coach of the Year Division 2. Shout out to Coach B-Ball for nominating Coach McDonald up there in Portsmouth. And that last season, what Coach McDonald was going through, being ill and stuff and going for treatment and still showing up every day and coaching them kids day in, day out with every last breath. I mean, that is the true example of Coach of the Year. Someone that goes above and beyond for their program. Not somebody with that has 97 players and you got a stacked team, so you go to the Super Bowl. That's not Coach of the Year criteria. And I think Division 1 Coach of the Year should have probably went to Coach Ferraro up there in Burrillville, having 25 players battling through all season long, battling and scraping and fighting for everything you get. Burrillville goes up against Central at home. They beat Central. I think it was like 28-0. What a tough physical game that was. And then Burrillville travels down to Providence. They play Central again. The JVs play Central. And this time they beat Central 14-0. And now here we are. We go into the playoffs. Now, before Burrillville could even think about playing Central, they got to get by Barrington. So Burrillville does that as well. They get by Barrington. And now they have to support the Eagles or host the Eagles with the clean locker room, all that stuff, So now Burrillville beats them. So now Central's waiting with a bye. They play Burrillville. What a game that was. Double overtime. Burrillville wins that game. And it sets up a Division 1 semifinal match. Central Knights and Burrillville Broncos. And we all know how that ended. The Broncos win, setting up an awesome Super Bowl match that was going to take place in Cranston, Rhode Island. But I think, Coach Ferraro should have got it. I mean, we give it to Coach Marcone, going, he's on his way out. It is what it is. Can't really be mad at that. Can't be mad at Coach Marcone. Coach Marcone, getting it where you can be. But in this world of sports, Rhode Island, what do you think? Do you think the title of Coach of the Year? I mean, it's always been an honor to receive Coach of the Year. But is it fading away? Is it becoming favoritism? Is it misplaced? Are we misplacing the values? What does it mean to earn this accolade? What does it mean to be coach of the year? In this landscape we are in right now, what does it mean? Is it awarded to the coach who steers a talented team to victory? Is it awarded to a coach who maybe has a stacked team? You have all the right players in all the right places, and it steers you to a victory? Or is it a consolation prize? Is it a consolation prize for a coach that's resigning or that his time is coming to an end? What is it? I mean, maybe at one point of time, right? Maybe it did represent something. Maybe it was, recognition of a coach's ability to mold a young football player, to make him better, teaching him the principles of honor, integrity, hard work. But now sometimes it just feels like a popularity contest where we're measuring success. It's just becoming skewed. It's becoming awkward. I mean, but just the notion, the thought of a coach making the most out of a limited resource, guiding their players through adversity, fostering character, it's just being overshadowed by something that's shiny, by glamorous achievements of a roster that's loaded with talent. I mean, just think about this. Consider the implications, right, of awarding a title based on, just superficial of wins and losses, right? It sent a message that success is solely defined by the scoreboard. Is success defined by the scoreboard? If so, then just give it to Keith Croft and call it a day. So now it's based on wins and losses, and it's not based on character, morals, and respect, right? So it's based on maybe somebody retiring. So let's give it to him, which is all good. I mean, the process of recognizing talent and coaching extends beyond the field, right? So these coaches should be evaluated not just on their win-loss record, but on the values that they instill in their players. Like Nadeem Robinson said, what are we doing for the culture? What are we giving back to the communities that support us day in, day out on this football grind? What are we doing for them? Are these coaches promoting teamwork, resilience, right? Are they just becoming an environment where young athletes can drive both on and off the field? Because that's what we need. We need to make better men. We do not have better men in society. So these right here are the qualities that should be celebrated. Not just the trophies in the cabinet, in the hallway. I mean, is it not concerning to see this becoming, politics inside high school sports, inside youth sports? Decisions are influenced by bias rather than the merits of the individuals involved. And we see it all the time. You can't say that's cap. By the way, that's cap. Hit the Cash App. You know what I mean? I encourage anyone to please make a donation. I I really appreciate it to keep the program going. The monthly streaming bills are coming in. They're going up and up and up. It's like $45 now. But a lot of favoritism. I mean, honors alone are handed out because of favoritism. It just diminishes the hard work of coaches who are dedicated to the players that put in the hard work. And the fields that I walk across today are not filled with those type of players. How about let's talk about the way that coaches are reporting their stats to Max Preps. Are they? We only have a few teams, maybe 17, 18 teams at average that report the stats, right? So in an age where data is driving narratives, analytics, I ask college coaches, what do you think about Max Preps and stats? Love it. We love to be able to look up a player. We want to know if this is like a once in a lifetime type situation. So now we got to watch over here tennis players like Eric Rube, that don't know his ass from his elbow when it comes to football. So we really got to look back on what it means to be coach of the year. We have to return to the core values, that are going to define this honor, right? We got to celebrate those who are uplifting the football players, that are uplifting the culture, uplifting the integrity, inspire them to strive to be the best that they can be in all aspects of life, right? Can we shift the focus away from the mere accolades and embrace a more holistic approach to coaching recognition? So in a society that's increasingly value achievements over character, that's important, right? Achievement over character, not, let's not forget that the true measure of a coach is not in the trophies that they collect, but it's in the lives that they touch, not what's in the trophy cabinet. That is not, forget that. But the lives that they touch, the values that they instill. It's definitely time for a reevaluation of what being coach of the year means, and to honor those who represent the very best way of what sports should be and what a real coach of the year should be. Don't go nowhere. When we get back, we're going to react to who will Lasalle hire to replace Coach Marcone. Brought to you. And how do we even listen? How do we even listen to this guy? Like, look, guy, and this is the guy. This is your guy right here. This is your guy. The guy, the tennis player that got bullied by jocks as a townie. This is your guy. Well, let's see what your guy has to say. High school football season just ended. Who will be LaSalle's football coach? We're gonna cut out all the fat, get all this BS. He said if schools tab someone who doesn't work out, It could no dive in the program, could take years to recover, of course. So let's put more fear into him. Who should they hire? That was a very good question. Who they should hire. This guy, clown sauce. Who should they hire? Very good question. 1 second, bear with me. So who should they hire, Eric? Let us know. Now we get into this in 1 second. I just had to fix something. Okay, got that. You know, he's just trying to guess is the fun part, and since the season is over, you know, ways to have fun with the off season. Okay. Now, originally, this was a 5-name list. And I said that last week. Originally, he had Stanley. Of course, he's a Stan for Stan. We all know Eric stands for Stan, right? Okay. You know, so you knew Stan had to be on this list. Stanley Dunbar, Suffield Academy assistant coach. If Lasalle wants to make a statement, hiring Dunbar would make one. Dunbar's breakthrough elite football 7-on-7 changed the landscape for skill position players in Rhode Island, and most of the state's best have played breakthrough at some point in their careers. Okay, Eric, but what does this have to do with high school football? Dunbar has experience as we're getting somewhere. As a head coach with his work at Coventry. Dunbar won 5 games total. Won 5 games. And Westerly, he made it to the semis and failed. He went against Sassy and failed. So again, what has Dunbar done in local Rhode Island high school football? Well, a whole lot of not much. But he did get Coach of the Year for winning a pair of games. As an assistant at Suffield, he's getting exposure to what it takes to be a head coach at a private entity. Hiring Dunbar would draw plenty of interest from players around the state and keep things moving in the right direction. If Lasalle can find a way to get him a job in the building, it could end up with its coach for the next 20 years. Dunbar don't stay places longer than 2-3 years. And just look at his history. Look at his history, you know, from Coventry, from Portsmouth to Coventry to Westerly. He stays at places about 2 years. Willie Edwards. Shout out to Willie Edwards, Brown University assistant coach. See, the bad news is Willie Edwards just got a promotion. Good news for him. Bad news for a lovely tennis player. You know, it's been a minute since Edwards was on a high school sideline. But LaSalle would be foolish if it didn't try to at least get Willie's interest. He built a program at Moses Brown, and he also said that Moses Brown will never be able to build a program. They're not going to give you the funding it takes to bring in the type of kids that you want to bring in at a full ride. You know, so yeah, he built a great program with Michael Walsh over there. Before him and Michael Walsh coming over to Brown, he understands the pressure of running a private school program. Our friendly tennis player said, you know, with his college connections, Edward would be an asset for the players trying to reach the next level. He's familiar with LaSalle starting quarterback Sam Perry. All right, so that's a great reason to bring in Willie Edwards. Sam, Perry, the son of James freaking Perry from Brown University's head coach. All right, yep, that's a great fit, Eric. I love where you're taking this. So Willie Edwards is a good fit because of Sam Perry. Now, again, people, look, this is your guy. This is your guy. Can't even make this shit up. Coach Ferraro, shout out to Coach Ferraro, by far the best, hands down, football in Rhode Island, high school football. Nobody can put their resume next to this man right here. You want to reset the culture at the program, your friendly tennis player is saying, well, you don't have to find anyone better to do that than Coach Ferraro, who took a small school like Barville and turned it into a pound for pound, the best high school program in Rhode Island. Where'd you get that, Eric? Come on. My son. My son. So now, obviously, there's no reason for Ferraro to leave Barville, but the timing for such a dramatic move isn't off, and it at least raises the chances from less than 0 to 0. Of course, he would need a relocation package. If Ferraro left for a private school, Ferraro would never, ever leave Barville for any program. Ever.
Games. No one's going to be more informed. I'm not just some guy sitting in his basement spouting off about who's winning games and who's doing what. We're real. The rebellion is real. Providence Journal coverage is going to be real this year. It's almost here. 3 days away. Listen, no one's going to...
No one. That dude's my son. My son. A friendly tennis player over there. He's the guy that's picking, coming up with these bright ideas, and the reason why he went 10, he originally went 5, but we said his top 5 was going to be Stanley Dunbar, Willie Edwards, Chris McCall, Lorenzo Perry, Willie Edwards, Mike Washington. Like, imagine Mike Washington. We'll get there. Mike Green, another guy. No way would Mike Green end up at Lasalle. Maybe if Mike Green retires in a couple of years and he could get something going with a school, maybe, just maybe, he'll go back to coaching football. But Green, you probably take that as an insult. Coached at Hendricken, before he left the program. Back in 2021. Let's see what else this me. Jordan Husserl, another thing that couldn't be anything farther. Husserl has quietly been a crucial component to Westerly's offensive evolution, helping transform the once run-only program into one of the state's best passing offenses, and having his son, 2023 second team All-Stater Landon, be the state's best quarterback, it helps the situation. And he said, if you're LaSalle, you can make a hell of a pitch. The head coaching job, bring your sons. Aylin, a freshman. Listen, Westerly had a running offense because Dwayne Miranda went single wing. He was in love with the single wing. After that, Stanley Dunbar comes in. Lance Williams, good athlete. He's slinging the ball around. He brings Jordan on his staff. Him and Jordan connected well. Stanley bounces. He gets out of town. Jordan sticks around. His son's coming up. Jordan ends up working with Ronnie, and the rest is however it goes. But I don't even think Jordan would take the credit for making this team, for bringing this team, into pass. You change with the people you have in your program, your personnel. We are back. It's your boy Mikey, man. We're reacting to Eric Ruebs' top 10 list of who he thinks could be the Lasalle coach. So let's see what else Clown Rube had to say.
Not promote or promotion any illegal activities. All content provided by this channel is meant only for educational purpose only.
Listen, no one's going to give you more coverage. No one's going to be at more games. No one's going to be more informed. I'm not just some guy sitting in his basement spouting off about who's winning games and who's doing what. We're real. The rebellion is real. Providence Journal coverage is going to be real this year. It's almost here. 3 days away.
Oh, real quick, the Cato rule: the views and information opinions expressed on the Can We Keep It Real podcast are the views of the individuals involved and don't represent the views of any third party or team. So we're getting back into Eric Ruebs' top 10 list. We're reacting to it. We're talking about it. Josh Lima, I said last week that Josh Lima was going to be named the head coach of LaSalle. William Cohen, who's a close friend of Josh, and missed a week ago, always following suit. It is kind of embarrassing though for somebody that works for the Providence Journal, as big as the Providence Journal is, for me to even be in the conversation, for me to even be on a similar level. And you went to school for this, man. You get paid for all this. And then you say I'm doing what?
Listen, no one's going to give you more coverage. No one's going to be at more games. No one's going to be more informed. I'm not just some guy sitting in his basement spouting off about who's winning games and who's doing what. We're real. The rebellion is real. Providence Journal coverage is going to be real this year. It's almost here. 3 days away.
You know what's crazy? Like, just for him to make that video, it basically says that he's intimidated. Oh, we're not him. We're not him. Why are you him? Why are you worried about him?
Listen, no one's going to give you more coverage. No one's going to be at more games. No one's going to be more informed. I'm not just some guy sitting in his basement spouting off about who's winning games and who's doing what. We're real. The rebellion is real. Providence Journal coverage is going to be real this year. It's almost here. 3 days away.
You know what's funny, the Providence Journal? That this guy even entertains this. And this is your lead guy. Like, this is your guy. The guy that's that feels intimidated over a dude on a damn podcast. Some guy that's supposedly, what do you say, in his mother's basement. But I'll say, if that is my mother's basement, it's a pretty nice house. But yeah, that is kind of funny. But we're gonna get back into this. Josh Lima. Josh Lima is probably the only name on the list. That makes sense. Besides one other one. Josh definitely being a LaSalle alumni. Is he the best X's and O's guy in Rhode Island? I mean, that's kind of questionable. What he's done at Cumberland is nothing short of remarkable. He'll be the first to tell you he didn't do it alone. Well, 97 kids for a school the town size of Cumberland. I mean, you're definitely bringing a lot of kids in through pathways. So Belima built a talented staff at Cumberland and took players from a soccer community and turned it into a perennial contender. Having Tampa Bay Buck offensive coach Liam Cohen, a friend of Lima since high school, in his cell phone contact list isn't enough to get him the job. It absolutely is enough to get him the job. Liam tells LaSalle, I'm going to make a nice contribution to you, but you got to give Josh the job. That conversation may have happened. Matter of fact, that conversation most probably happened. That conversation could have happened. That conversation did happen. Having somebody like Liam, it says it can't hurt connecting him to college coaches. He goes on to say Liam works at Cumberland High School and is loyal to the community. I like this one. Despite garbage social media attacks on him by a select few who don't have a clue. Would it be enough to have Lima looking for a change of scenery? Lasalle would be silly not to find out. So, loyal to the community despite garbage social media attacks on him by a select few who don't have a clue. Well, I mean, if you're talking about me, if you're talking about I attacked him when he was brought up on a very serious investigation and the school spent $80,000 to investigate Josh Leamer, it must have been serious enough that the school spent that type of money. I mean, hypothetically, let's say Lima didn't set the play up, but maybe didn't really know it was going to happen, but knew it was going to happen. And it's no secret that Lima and the student's father have been going back and forth. The same student who his father had T-shirts made. So the player's dad, the one that was assaulted, had his dad had T-shirts made, and let me see. Here they are. Too comical. All right, let's see. Here we go. Can't make this shit up. Cumberland Clippers fans have had it with Josh Lima, Cumberland, Rhode Island. 2 playoff wins in 9 years. Now, this was before Lima came up to Division II. And, so this was basically before that. 2 playoff wins in 9 years. He was 41 and 45 career as a head coach. Dan, that's below 500. 100 players and no freshman team. Lima could not handle the pressure of D1. So she slid his tail and went to D2, where he says we get no respect. And this man's this was when he was the head of the Coaches Association. Shirts going on sale. How many you want? See, hashtag Dave Cato. You're not the only shitty coach, allegedly. Rhode Island Interscholastically. This is yours. Association president recalled Josh Lima. So this was the same guy that had these T-shirts made, and you can see on the T-shirts, 9 season, only 2 playoff wins, losing record. And this is what he talks about, garbage social media, talking about Josh Lima. And this is what I talked about. I talked about the investigation, Josh being found guilty on I think 3 different policies, leaving the kids alone in the locker room, leaving a kid alone, letting the kid go to the emergency room by himself with no supervision. Imagine you drop your kid off at, this is something like, this is how, I don't even think Alejandro would do this. You drop your kid off at school at football. The kid gets hurt for whatever reason, busted eye socket, did a number on him. He gets hurt. He gets transported by emergency room to the hospital. And coach, is anybody going with him? Nah, he's all set. I mean, nobody even went with the kid. And then you wonder why. And this is your guy, Eric the Rebellion. Embarrassing you would even. It's crazy that he even has to do that. Like, you work for like a gigantic machine. You work for a machine. There's a man that imagine like this man plays Karen with his kids. Like, you play Karen with his kids. He tweeted that, I swear to God. He said, just because I'm playing Karen with the kids. I'm like, huh? You play Karen with the kids?
Listen, no one's going to give you more coverage. No one's going to be at more games. No one's going to be more informed. I'm not just some guy sitting in his basement spouting off about who's winning games and who's doing what. We're real. The Rebellion is real. Providence Journal coverage is going to be real this year. It's almost here, 3 days away.
He wants to be my son so bad, he calls it the Rebellion. But that even backfired on him. He got egg all over his face for that. You know? Like Jimmy Cook says.
This is not Clown Town anymore.
This is not Clown Town anymore.
This is not Clown Town anymore.
You heard him. It's not Clown Town anymore.
Time I pull the plug. The game is over. The game is over. It's time I pull the plug.
It's time I pull the plug. Like, this guy's embarrassing. Like, going back and forth with a dude, you know, doing it from his mother's basement and still breaking all the stories, right? And you're what? A week late, $1 short. You went to school for this. You get paid for this. This guy don't care about the culture. I spend just as much on this as probably his paycheck. But anyway, back to Josh Lima. This is retired Lieutenant Colonel Jason Dean, Special Forces. Right? Now, this is the man that came up with the great design of the t-shirt. This is also the man of the father whose kid led to an $80,000 investigation at Cumberland, which yours truly broke that story as well. So let's hear what Mr. Dean had to say. And another thing, you know what Mr. Dean also did? Mr. Dean knew there was an election coming. So Mr. Dean went out and got all the signatures to get on the ballot for a school committee. And Mr. Dean won by a landslide. And Mr. Dean is now on Josh Lima's bumper.
Hello, I'm Jason Dean, 150 Staples Road. Last week, you guys voted on the investigation that had concluded after 6 months.
That I wasn't there. You waited till I went out of the country.
I was in Iceland. I was disappointed I wasn't here for that. I informed the committee I'd be in Iceland, but after 6 months, we were.
They said, yo, dude's in Iceland. Bring that paperwork out. This guy's a retired Lieutenant Colonel, Special Forces. This guy makes movies.
Apparently, all of a sudden, in a rush. Some things were said. There was, I guess, 195 pages of exhibits. Most of that was emails. So I went through it. Most of them were my emails. I gave the investigator a.
195 exhibits.
Oh, by the way, I am the guy who made the complaint. I didn't make 11
I am the guy. Yeah, there was 11 complaints, but he'll get to that.
complaints. As a matter of fact, I requested that 2 of the complaints be pulled off of the investigation because they were admitted right in front of the school committee and the superintendent. It appeared the superintendent was given accolades for handling it correctly. I made the complaint a year ago. Tomorrow was the first complaint.
And then the school committee always says, you know, people, you need to bring this stuff forward. You need to be patient. A year. And $80,000. Don't forget, Cumberland School Department spent $80,000 on this.
About special needs inclusion. The athletic director, the principal, the coach were completely oblivious that it even existed, and the policy was passed 2 years previously. And I was admitted in the investigation. 2 of the things that were upheld, I requested in an email to be removed. So I don't know why they were put in the investigation. I didn't request the investigation. I requested an investigation into my son being mistreated because of his disability.
See, his son was mistreated by Josh Lima because of his disability.
Again, they didn't even know there was a special needs inclusion policy in sports. 7 times before the investigation was approved. The superintendent, again, requested the investigation. Cost $80,000. I did not make 11 requests. Those came.
$80,000. See, I ain't capping.
Cost $80,000. I did not make 11 requests. Those came up as the investigation proceeded. So what I want to say is Jason John Dean with an H on social media. I gave a thumb drive with recorded conversations. I recorded most of the meetings, most of the phone calls. Any media personnel who would like that entire file, it will include everything I gave to the investigator, and then new conversations since then, new emails, an offer request that shows that although I was promised an investigation would be done 6 months before it was asked for, there was no investigation. So the offer request will show. So that is Dr. Thornton's Cumberland. If you have a complaint, it takes 1 year and $80,000. Not many parents are going to stick with that.
1 year, $80,000. He's right. How many parents are going to stick with that?
That's it. I have 21 seconds left.
No, they timed you. He knew it. You know, he was on point. Retired Lieutenant Colonel. I mean, you know, so he started the investigation into Lima, and we only kind of got off track because of the whole, you know, what Eric was spewing out the side of his mouth. All right, let's get back to where we were. So Josh Lima, I mean, he's probably one of the, you know, and Liam is absolutely strong enough to get him into that job. Like, come on, he's the Tampa Bay offensive coordinator. His father was coach on the team. He's a big-time donor, a friend of Lima. Chris McCall. You know, I mean, I don't know, Eric, man. You got a thing, you know. You had jungle fever or something going on. But Chris McCall, Costco high school head coach, you probably didn't see this thing coming. Of course we did. McCall has been one of Rhode Island's best offensive minds, he says. His resume speaks for itself. Oh, my God. He quietly sent skill positions to D1, better than any other coach in the state. And that alone makes him a great candidate for any job in Rhode Island. Don't forget how he outcoaches himself in playoff games. You got to put that in the resume. You got to put the only lingering question is, how does Coach McCall outdo himself, confuse himself in playoff games? Is the pressure too big? Lasalle too big? You know, and this one, come on, Josh McDaniels. Yep, you really wanted to make this a joke. Lorenzo Perry is the second name on this list that makes any sense at all, being a LaSalle alumni. But after 1 year at Moses Brown, you know, I don't know, it don't make sense. You would think that Lorenzo Perry would have known that the LaSalle coach was stepping out because there was rumors surfacing around September. No one knew how true they were, but Lorenzo Perry over there. And how about this one, man? This one is just like blows it away. The mouth on my man Mike Washington. Mother F this and mother F that and mother F and mother. He'll be doing like Our Father, Hail Marys all damn day. He be beating up water coolers all day. My man Mike Washington, man. Imagine him. He got a taste of LaSalle being a track coach, so he already knows what time it is. And that's it. So you had Mike Washington, number 10. Lorenzo Perry, number 9. Josh McDaniels. Chris McCall. Josh Lima. That very well could be the next head coach of LaSalle. No cap. Jordan Husaro. There's the bear Najee brought. There's the bear. Mike Green. Gennaro Ferraro. Willie Edwards. Stanley Dunbar. Of course, because he stands for Stan. So you know your boy Eric was going to have Stan on the front. You know he was going to have him on the front of that, man. He stands for Stan. But of course he does, man, because this is the guy that be like picking who the All-State is. Imagine that. Like, go figure, man. Yo, Anthony, don't worry. We didn't forget about you. We'll be back. And yo, Anthony, somebody that you co-coached with said the clipboard. That's a true story. I said, oh my God, he really was carrying around a blank friggin' clipboard, Anthony.
Let's go, come take a ride through my city life. See what my city's like. It's the city life. For some, it's a shitty life. This is city living, mostly them city children. From my bedroom, see the lights of them city buildings. Ain't gotta act hard, private's my backyard. I run road out, you can call me a track star. And we a team, homie.
Not promote or promotion any illegal activities. All content provided by this channel is meant only for educational purposes.
I know you heard of your boy Japan, and I'm rocking out with Chris Clark. He from the West Coast, I'm from Rhode Island. Let's get it going now, it's how it's going down. Brody got its own style, smallest state in the nation, but we so proud. Yeah, we so proud, screaming out loud. Here we go, come on. Haven for the hustlers, scramble for the dollar. Whole state corrupt, blood money for tomorrow. Still a plantation, bunch of niggas wearing collars. Whether in the gutter or a fucking brown scholar. And from the east to the west, little roadie in the house, man, we always been fresh. And from the north to the south, I love where I'm from, better watch your mouth, we from.
Wins, not everybody, the older coaches. They want to cry, they want to go to these RIIL meetings. And they want to cry, we're not competitive, we can't do this.
One thing I was...
En our business to keep up with this.
This is not Clown Town anymore.
You heard what he said, Eric.
This is not Clown Town anymore.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell out. Everybody's like, football's a team game. Okay, it's not a team game. Okay, I did my part. All right, I put in a great game plan. I mean, these players, they're horrible. My players are no good. I mean, everybody's like, no excuses. I got 22 excuses. 11 on my offense and 11 on my defense.
Listen, no one's going to give you more coverage. No one's going to be at more games. No one's going to be more informed. I'm not just some guy sitting in his basement spouting off about who's winning games and who's doing what. We're real. The rebellion is real. Providence Journal coverage is going to be.
That's the bad guy. Bad guy. Bad guy. That's the bad guy. The bad guy. The bad guy. Commission. The bad guy. The bad guy. The bad guy.
Load up.
We don't do no talking. We know what they